Did you know that 33% of interviews are decided in the first 90 seconds? What I'm here to talk about today is interview etiquette. Basically, what we need to do to make sure that we can land a job interview. And as I'm sure the rest of you are aware, why are we here at college? Well, let me tell you about that. That's because we're here to do the one thing college is for, and that's once we graduate, we're going to get a job, okay? And I'd like to help with that. And basically, everything that I've sort of looked at has told me that the main thing is having the skills and the right attitude to make a positive first impression, which will go wonders to being successful in your job search. And the way I'm going to do this is by addressing the three main issues people face in interviews: the introduction, body language, and etiquette. And let's start with the introduction. Did you know that being early and on time is the easiest and most consistent way to make a good first impression? And there's basically three main points I sort of want to address in how you can make the first impression in your introduction land. So typically, you're going to be sent to somebody's office and you're going to have to talk with somebody, because that's what an interview is. You're going to have to talk with somebody. So the main things you want to do is, in your introduction, you want to show that you are committed and that you care. So you want to be early. You have to be early. You have to make that good first impression, otherwise almost nothing else will count. 33% of people are not looking beyond the first 90 seconds. The second is you have to be courteous. When you enter the room, say hello, pay your respects, sit down, do a little idle chat. You have to make sure that this person sees that you are a person and that you are respectful of both of each other's time. The third thing is you need to be well informed. And by being well informed, you can also sort of make the decisions and sort of read the room about how you want to approach the interview. Do you want to sort of put on a serious, tight face? Do you want to take a very lax attitude, because that's the sort of environment that this job, this work festers? You need to have that in mind. And one of the quotes I got from the Muse is that find out who you'll be interviewing with and learn something about them, because that's what you need to do. Now, the second is body language. I'm sometimes not that good at it myself, but basically you want always to look people in the eyes. I mean, don't look at their eyes all the time. You kind of don't need to do that, but you need to look in their eyes. You need to make sure you're having a positive attitude, and if you're sitting down, you want to have sort of the right posture. You don't want to slack back in your chair or anything, and you just don't want to make that kind of bad impression doing that. And so you want to have straight posture. I don't have straight posture right now, but you're also going to need to put on the happy customer service face. Okay, you're gonna have to do that because people do sometimes want to see rawness and realness and everything that's sort of inside you. But what they also want to see is that you're a person who knows how to be respectful of other people's times, and you're not going to be dragging a bad attitude into an interview where you are trying to make the most positive impression of yourself possible. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Now, lastly, we're going to talk about interview etiquette. And interview etiquette is the three main things I want to point out. Three main things. I'm doing a lot of three main things. But number one is respect. Respect the person you're with. Respect who you're talking to. Know who you're talking to. Basically, just treat them as a person. Just make sure to treat them as a person. And usually, I'd say you'd also want to take your own notes in there. You sort of want to have things you're writing down when they're asking you questions, and have sort of the stuff in mind you want to talk about, and sort of think of the questions ahead of time that they're going to ask you. And also manners, this sort of goes into the posture side of things, is that I guess it is part of respect, but just know where you're at, what kind of setting you're in, Dress nice if it's a nice place. Dress nice most of the time, obviously. But if you're going to a McDonald's interview, you don't have to wear a suit. And last is it also pulls back into body language. It's positivity. Keep a positive attitude. Keep them coming. Keep them coming back to you and everything you're about. Give a smiling face. Now that we have these tools in our arsenals, let's go over everything we've talked about. First, keep what you talk about to what you know. That's a little interesting fact I popped in there. Now that we've went over the skills and the attitude you need to be successful in an interview. Today, we went over the introduction, how body language affects the interview, and the etiquette you need when approaching an interview. Now, I did try some of these things with my mom earlier, and she seemed to like it, so we're going to say for now that it was a successful, inspirational moment in my life. Oh yeah, and for any other further reading or anything you want to look out about this, just check out some of the things I cited from Indeed, the Muse, other stuff like that, and just look online. Okay, thank you.